Hey, what's going on guys? Motonosity here. It's been a long time since I've worked on the S1000, but today I'm so excited. I've been waiting for this for so long. A lot of things have been impacted this year, and the motorcycle parts industry is no different. Now, there's one thing on my bike that I put on it that was basically my only option because there's no other parts that did what this one did. Can you guess? It's the Fender Eliminator. The interesting thing about the S1000, at least the 2020 newer S1000, is that everything is integrated in the fender. The light is not a separate unit that's on the tail. So the fender that comes out of this tailpiece right here includes everything. Your license plate, your tail light, your turn signals, your brake lights. So you don't have the option that you do on a lot of bikes of just replacing it with a basic tail tidy. Gets rid of the fender and allows you to have a nice clean mounting point for your license plate. If you wanna have lights on the back of your bike, you gotta have all of that in one thing. And this right here, that was the only option until now. At least if you wanted something that was clean and looked good. And like I said, there's a reason that you haven't been able to get anything until now. Interestingly enough, the connectors that BMW uses on its lights, there's like only one source that makes those connectors. And when the pandemic hit, basically that got shut down and nobody's been able to get those connectors. But finally they've been able to get them. And one of those companies is Futurismoto. When I first saw the product that he was making, and I say he, Kyle, the founder of Futurismoto, he's got a one-man operation over there. He does everything. The marketing, the design, the machining, the circuit board development, the assembly. He's doing it all himself, which makes this all the more impressive. But he has one of the cleanest setups that I've seen for this bike. So if you saw my video when I put on the New Rage Cycles Fender Eliminator, there's a lot of different areas where I felt that it could be improved. And kudos to New Rage Cycles. They actually followed up on that video that I made and addressed all the things that I pointed out and said where they were gonna make improvements. However, we finally have another option. So let's go ahead and check out all the areas where I felt that this one could be improved or things I didn't really like about it. And then we'll go ahead and take a look at the new product we're gonna be putting on. But quick, a first word about the sponsor of today's video, that is Blinkist. So today's sponsor, Blinkist, is an app that takes books and condenses them down into 15 minutes that you can read or listen to. This basically takes a book and makes it into a short podcast. Think SparkNotes, but for nonfiction books and in audio form. If you're as busy as I am, or if you're as curious as I am, there's a lot of books that you wanna read, but you just don't have the time for. Here, let me show you. Here's a stack of books that I've been meaning to read, some for like nearly 10 years. Haven't gotten around to them. I actually read this one. 6 books I'll be able to get through in an hour and a half. But this one, for example, Getting Things Done by David Allen, it's a book that I read a long time ago. It's a really good productivity book that's helped me out a lot. I listened to it on Blinkist to help me refresh on all the information from it. And of course, with any app that I try out that has any sort of consumable content, I search for motorcycles. So I listened to one about the Zen of motorcycle maintenance. It also makes it really easy to dive into new topics, whether it's in technology, communication, science, and they have curated lists, New York Times bestsellers, Amazon bestsellers, work on starting a new morning routine. So if you really wish that you could check out more books or you just want to save some time, check out Blinkist. You can go to blinkist.com/motonosity. The first 100 people are gonna get unlimited access for 7 days, free trial, cancel at any time, and if you wanna try the full membership, you can get 25% off. And Blinkist, thanks for sponsoring today's video. All right, so let's take a look at the Fender Eliminator that I have on there right now. For a kit that basically replaces everything you got back here, I didn't feel like it was as clean as it could be. There's a couple different ways you can set these up, but unfortunately, the product is kind of universal for how you want that set up. So for example, I have the plate set up mounted down here in the tuck position, but then to do that, I have to plug up all these holes with these little plugs that are included. So the end product that you have has a lot of different things that just take away from the clean looks of the Fender. 2, if you see here, you can see the original hole, and maybe you can't because it's so bright. You can see right there, see that black? That's the open hole for the original Fender. It doesn't fully cover up everything. It also doesn't really look like it's a factory piece. And that's kind of understandable because this is basically the design that you get in the NRC kits for different bikes. But that's just something that I didn't really like about it. I didn't like that it wasn't something that felt really unique to this bike. And then the last thing is that the install on this felt a little jerry-rigged on the bike. But if you want to get my full thoughts on that, I really recommend you guys go and watch my original video. Full disclosure, Motivation hooked me up with the New Rage Cycles Fender Eliminator. Futurismoto hooked me up with their Fender Eliminator. However, I'm not being paid to say either of them are good or bad. I think you guys can take me for my word on that, considering my install on that one in the last video. So I'm gonna give you my honest thoughts on the entire process, the install, the quality, and how it looks. But I'm really glad that we finally have another option so you guys can find what works for you on this new S1000. Now I forgot to mention, but Futurismoto actually doesn't only make the Fender Eliminator for this bike to integrate all your lights on the rear, but they also make a mirror block off that integrates turn signals on the front. Oh, that's nice. Okay, I can already tell you that the quality on these feels incredible. Ooh, it basically looks like it sandwiches the light in between, but when you feel it, it just feels flush. Also, I didn't know this, but we have full color, high quality instructions. So these are the turn signals. And then here we have the Fender Eliminator. Now this closes out. Dude, look at that. So that was one of the things that I didn't really like about the NRC setup. You basically had like little plastic spacers that you had to mount on the little closeout piece. And I just felt like that stuff could have been integrated into the aluminum. This right here, completely just machined out of one piece. Looks like we might have a couple different versions here. So you can have your license plate mounted either flush to the rear or sitting down from the rear, depending on which option you want to go for. Mount up right there, screw it in. I've already disconnected my whole entire fender from here, obviously. So some of the install on this will be a little bit different. So if you want to see any of my stock removal on stuff, be sure to check out that original Fender Eliminator video that I did, so you guys can see some of the details on removing these things. All the products I'll be installing today, I will link down in the description so you guys can check them out yourself. I think I'm gonna start at the front with the mirror block off, and then we'll move on to the rear of the bike. Right here, we have the connectors for the turn signals. Obviously mine aren't connected to anything because I've already removed my mirrors. All right, before I cover this up and put everything back on, let's test these out. Try the flashers. Oh, dude. Let's try the blinkers. Left blinker, good to go. Right blinker, good to go. Dude, these look so clean. So you've got those turn signals blinking all around. All right, turn signals are done. I gotta say, one, it's awesome to actually have turn signals, especially built into the mirror block-offs, but these are so solid. Perfect fit. The design, like the shape of these, I really, really like. They feel so solid on here. A lot of times when you get mirror block-offs, either they won't sit flush, sometimes they feel like a little bit loose or like they're not quite fitting as right as they should. These feel really, really good. Should be relatively simple for me, again, because I've already removed my fender. All we're gonna have to do, hopefully, remove the seat. By the way, if you don't have Luimoto seat covers on your bike yet, what are you doing with your life? Link in the description. Here is where you hook up to the ECU. This is the OBD2 port. It normally screws in and mounts right on the side, but with the mounting points for this bracket, they stick out here, and so you can't still mount this here. I'm hoping that that's different on this kit, but we'll check it out. All right, so I got the whole NRC kit out of there, so we are ready to put the Futurismoto kit onto the bike. But before I do that, I wanna go ahead and show you guys the differences between the NRC kit and the Futurismoto one, because as I was mentioned before, the quality on the Futurismoto one it's really nice. So here are the two kits, the Futurismoto one here on the left, and the New Age Cycles kit that I just took off of the bike right here. Here's something that I believe I mentioned. The entire mounting plate on this one is all machined. The one right here from NRC, it's well, it's not. So you've got these like plastic spacers here, and I had to put all this together myself. It doesn't come pre-assembled. And it was actually a really big pain getting all of these on here. The other thing is that these 3 holes, this is if you do the different license plate mount on the kit. So I have the tucked version, and I believe you make these choices when you order. So I was kind of bummed about that, because if you have to actually choose which version you want to order, you would think they would have separate plates for each version. NRC addressed a lot of the stuff in the original video, so some of these things might be different on the latest kits that they're selling, but this is just the original kit that I have. So all these holes, you plug these with these included plastic plug pieces. So it's just not as clean as it could be if it was a completely machined piece like you get from Futurismoto. This, I think, is cut pieces of aluminum that are powder coated in kind of like a textured coat, whereas this, I believe, is anodized black aluminum that's been machined. So I'm gonna get this in. First, I've got to assemble the tucked version of the plate mount to the mounting plate, and then put my license plate on it, and then we can go ahead and put it on the bike. With this kit, you can actually connect the OBD2 sensor to the original mounting point. In the instructions, it actually only has you remove the rearmost bolt. There you have it, everything all clean. All I gotta do is put on the side panels, put the seat back on, and it's done. Before I close everything up, I'm gonna test it out, make sure it works, and see how these lights look. Turn it on. I see light. I see, whoo, geez, those are bright. Dude, that's clean. Now, here's the license plate light, but when you use the tucked license plate mounting option, this isn't really doing anything. So that's kind of the first thing in this entire kit that doesn't seem, perfect. Honestly, I might just disconnect that. This looks sick. It looks so much cleaner. Everything is just the fitment, the quality. It's such an easier install because everything is, it's all machined, all the mounting points and everything. This kit is really, really nice. Try the blinker, here's right. Got the blinkers going, good to go. Try the flashers. Oh, jeez, that wasn't the flashers. It's after midnight and I'm pretty sure I just woke everyone up. Alrighty, all done. Everything's closed up. Got it all put back together. Let's go ahead and let me turn it on again. Let me turn on the flashers so you guys can see everything. There's the turn signals. Really, really clean. I'm so excited for these. I think they look really, really nice. Back here at the rear, you see everything going on. And it's hard to really, let me see if I can get a good angle. You see how the light reflects off of this indentation on the tail. That was actually something that I really liked about the NRC kit. I'm really glad to see that the way the lights sit on this, it still has that same kind of effect. I love how sleek this is. You know, when you look at it from the side, you just see the shape of the tail. Now again, I'm not being paid to say anything good about this. You may just really like the shape and the look of that kit, and that's completely fine. But I just gotta emphasize how high quality and well thought out this kit feels. So that's that. Again, this is the Futurismoto kit for the S1000 2020 Plus. I'll link the Fender Eliminator and the mirror block off turn signals down in the description so you guys can check them out for yourself. But that's gonna be it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, helped you out, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. If you're not subscribed already, turn on post notifications. Got a lot of, I promise, a lot of really awesome videos coming out soon. But you guys have been awesome. I've been Motonosity. Remember, life's better with horsepower. Keep life lived. I'll see you guys in the next one.